So this will be the first time that our microphones are in our face.
Yes.
And we're able to look at each other longingly.
Longingly, that's absolutely right.
I'm excited about this. I'm getting a second, third, fourth, or fifth chance to read our introduction. Let's not screw it up. Welcome to a... That wasn't on purpose.
That was your last chance, Zach.
All right.
That's all
Turn in the
nerves,
paper
man.
and face the corner.
Welcome to Dysfunctional Adults, the comedy podcast in which we discuss weird news, pop culture, and being middle-aged dads. I'm your host, Zach. Hi. And these are my co-hosts, John.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, John. And Jason.
Hello.
We are bitter, cynical Gen-Xers saddled with crippling debt and depressingly past our primes, but that's what makes our podcast so much fun. I'm already having fun.
Oh man, crippling debt is not a joke.
No.
We applied to refinance our house because we're remodeling it. We needed to get some cash out. And the dude called me and he's like, "You have a lot of debt."
That's a good way to start the
we
conversation.
know. That's why we're refinancing the house.
Well, he's like, "Okay, we can do the refinance, but only if you let us pay off some of your debt with the money. So you get less money out, but the upside is you get to pay down some of your debt." So
gambling debts.
But it racks up. It really racks up. So
I can't wait to find a new place to live because here I am paying like $1,200 a month for rent. That doesn't include utilities.
That's ridiculous.
And that could have been a house payment.
Yeah.
And then if I'm gonna apply for something like that, hey, I have $1,200 a month that I can spend on this. Yeah, but we're gonna need like proof that you can afford this. We're gonna need $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 down. Okay, yeah, but I have all these years of where I paid all this money to rent. I'm proving right now that I can afford that. I just can't afford what you're asking because that's extra that I don't have. But that's what they're gonna want.
It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do other than rob a bank, but I'll cut that part out.
Well, Megan, no, it's evidence.
Only if it actually happens.
Yeah, that's right.
So Megan found these I guess it's a trend to turn shipping containers into little houses.
Okay.
And she said it actually is like $100,000, but I imagine you can get them for cheaper.
Yeah.
But she's like, if Zach ever needs a place to live, she's like, we could do this.
Put a shipping container on your yard?
In the backyard and plumb it and, wire it. And
I understand right now what's happening. There's no windows in it, so I can't creep on you guys like I would.
And there's no inside lock. It's an outside padlock.
There's no air holes or anything.
Oh, I forgot to let Zach out before I went to work.
It's super hot. There's no air
It's 200 degrees with no AC in there.
I piddled again.
It was really sweet of her, though. She was really worried about you.
Yeah,
so,
I appreciate that. Thanks,
yeah,
Megan.
But come to think of it, it would be a really great way to keep human trafficking people. That's awful.
I can cut that too.
Nah.
No, it's starting to feel like you see those things in, I think it's in China, where they have those tiny, they're not even a full room, like apartments where they live on the work site, and you get into these little beds, and it's
pods.
a bed. That's all. Yeah, it's like a little pod, and you've got your television, and then whatever else you can fit in there, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so let's start doing that in the United States, apparently.
There's hotels in Japan that do that.
Okay.
And you're stacked. There's people below you, and you have to climb a ladder to get into your little claustrophobic pod.
Like a drawer.
Really, it is.
Pull out a dresser drawer and climb in there with your pillow and blanket.
And obviously, there's no bathroom, so you have to get out and use a communal bathroom. But
that's how pornos start.
But it's like, hey, baby, would you like to come into my pod?
Your pod smells like my pod.
What, loneliness and sour depression?
Yep.
Speaking of smelling,
Yeah.
I smell pretty bad. Yeah.
I forgot to put on deodorant yesterday. I showered yesterday, and I shower once a week because depression. So I showered yesterday, and I went into my therapy session today, and there is a woman there that I am
attracted to.
Let's put it that way. It'll keep her safer. No,
I'm not saying the word stalking like any.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Right.
I'm not gonna say that. But.
Yeah, but basically,
what is stalking but aggressive courting?
You're gonna date me whether or not you want to. We are gonna go to a movie. No, she's great though. But I went in there, and then when I left, I got home and I could smell myself. And I'm like, really? Really? I forgot to put on deodorant.
I hate that.
Yeah. So I hope she enjoys sour onions.
No, it's one thing the pandemic did is it like uncivilized us in a lot of ways. Like
Your sense of hygiene went like way downhill.
Mine didn't change.
I used to comb my hair every day.
Like I haven't left my house in 6 months, so I haven't showered in 6 months. I haven't shaved.
What's the point?
Well, that's the thing is like, I mean, I'll shower every other day or so, but you know, I used to shower every day. I used to comb my hair every day. I used to shave every day. Like,
Yeah.
And now now I look like a homeless man.
You remember my older brother? He used to be like a really clean-cut guy.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, he stopped doing all of that because he was just working from home. He grew his pandemic beard, his pandemic hair. By the time the lockdown ended, he looked like a wizard, man. His beard was like completely out of
Howard
control.
Hughes.
His hair was like down to his shoulders and stuff.
He has like long fingernails and jars of urine.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and this is a guy who pretty much looked like a Marine his whole life with a really short haircut, like no beard and all that. But
Yeah, it's definitely taken a toll on people. It didn't affect me until probably the last few months because I was already an isolationist, you know, and then as I learned to not be, now it's starting to hit me. Now I'm like, well, I guess I do want to see people.
yeah,
I don't want to die alone completely.
Not completely.
Not completely.
A good 6 feet away.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Social distance, you bastards. We're at your funeral, man.
Still.
Are you even dead? You just closed the coffin from the inside.
I'm down with having a funeral for my last 40 years. I'm ready for this. Let's do this. We'll kill that Zach. The new Zach is born.
Nice.
Let's have a funeral.
We'll just
is that in your will? Like you want to be buried alive?
Yeah. Don't tell me when or where. Capture me.
Surprise!
Like, yeah. Remember when we used to abduct each other in the van, in Richard's van, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was
Turns out that's a crime.
Is it
You're not
really?
allowed to do
Faking
that.
kidnappings?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Misdemeanor or felony?
I don't know. Probably misdemeanor.
Well, that's
'cause
okay then.
There's a
We've
difference.
pulled a few of
One,
those.
you know, get a slap on the hand and a funny story. The other one, you get raped. there's a line between
And still a funny story.
If it's only a misdemeanor, you can get away with 1 or 2 before it starts adding up.
Yeah. 3 strikes and you're out, right?
I think so.
I think it's just felonies,
Yeah.
but that's funny. No, that it was in front of Hollywood Video or Media Play.
Yeah.
Media Play, which is gone now, but
Yeah, you youngins don't even know what that is.
was that the same day we saw Independence Day? I think it was.
It might be, yeah. Maybe that's what we were doing. We're picking JT up from work.
No, we had JT's van, is what it was.
Oh, was it his van? I thought it was Richard's van. Okay.
And then you and Richard were coming out of Media Play. Or was it just you?
I thought I was in the van.
Well, anyway, whoever was coming out of Media Play, we just threw the door open. We grabbed you,
Dragged him kicking and
dragged you
screaming.
into the van, and Jason peeled out. And there was a lot of people looking, but fortunately, cell phones weren't a thing. So
Yeah, we'd be
otherwise,
in trouble.
we probably would have at least been pulled over at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then I would have been beaten because I've got brown skin.
Yes. And we would have let that happen.
Just kidding. I don't really think that.
No.
But those
We
were the
wouldn't let
days
that
before
happen.
everyone had a camera phone, so people couldn't just take pictures of the van, the license plate,
Right.
our faces,
The
you know.
sweet days of police brutality.
You could just get away with faking kidnappings back then and no one would be the wiser.
Yeah.
They'd have to basically memorize your license plate, which no one does.
Right.
By the time they pull out a pad and paper to write it down, you're long gone. So
And I think we probably were kind of thinking that a lot more people believed that it was a real kidnapping than it actually was. Pretty sure that people could recognize we were just a bunch of stupid kids doing stupid crap.
Yeah.
Now, in retrospect, as a 42-year-old,
it's probably not the same thing. Nowadays, when they grab some teenager coming out of like a store and drag him kicking and screaming to a van at our age, people might believe it a little more.
Note to self, when Charlie's a teenager, don't do that to him. Got
that would
it.
be awesome. Pick him up from school.
Kidnapped my own kid.
Oh, it's funny. So, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Yeah, you went on a trip over the weekend, yeah?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. My wife and I, for our anniversary trip, like we do every year, we dumped the kids off on my mom for a weekend and then just
Sweet.
go for a weekend for a couple of nights. We actually went up to Jackson Hole, Wyoming for a weekend of whitewater rafting, horseback riding.
Jackson Hole isn't what I thought it was. Let's just put it out there.
Jackson's Hole.
Yeah.
You're typing that in, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
a city in Wyoming.
Right.
It's not the Pornhub site you were hoping
John
it
was going to go have fun.
But anyway, it was a lot of fun. We also ended up hitting up the Grand Teton National Park. And if you don't know, Teton in Spanish stands for, it means busty.
It's French, and it means tits.
In Spanish, it means busty. And so Grand Teton, you know. I've got these images in my head of like an old Wild West strip club, you know, where the girls are wearing like raccoon skin caps and nothing else, or, you know, shedding out of these deer skins and twirling around poles made of antlers, you know. And so when my wife's like, let's go to the Grand Tetons, I'm like, yeah, you're like the coolest wife ever. And then you drive all the way
Just
out.
a couple mountains.
It's like, oh, mountains. I guess they're pretty too. No, but seriously, it was really beautiful country, and we even on our rafting trip we saw some bald eagles, which is cool.
Oh, cool.
Makes you want to
Did
stand
you
up.
feel free?
Yeah, it makes you want to stand up in the raft, start waving an American flag, and chant, USA, USA.
John's
The rafting guy's like, sit down, you idiot. These are class 4 rapids. You're going to make us flip. He's like, where'd you get that flag anyway?
John's singing, I'm proud to be an American.
It's like, you can smuggle anything onto a raft in your good old prison wallet.
Please don't tell me that you put the American flag there.
It was for a good cause.
I think you have to burn it now.
Yeah,
It was for a good
illegal.
cause, in case that incident with the bald eagles ever came up.
In the Constitution, it says if the flag has fallen on the ground, worn beyond repair, or stuffed up your ass, it needs to be properly disposed of.
Yeah.
The founding fathers saw this coming. They even put comma John.
There was a mild road rage incident on the way there. We had just passed Evanston.
I like how you clinically describe that. Was that you, your wife, or someone else?
My wife and someone else. I was the
There was an incident.
I was the passenger at the time. We were past Evanston, and this is like lonely country road prairie with no one around for miles. But the lane was merging. It was just us and this one other pickup truck. We were in the merging lane, but they were running parallel with us. They weren't slowing down to let us go ahead. They weren't speeding up. So we're going to like hit them if they don't let us in. So at the last second, my wife floors it to get ahead of him. Well, he wasn't letting us in. I mean, I don't know why people take this personally and don't let you merge.
I will win.
But anyway, he took it really personally. He leaned on the horn.
Ugh.
And my wife, being the delicate flower that she is, she stuck her arm out the window and gave him some, preferred hand gestures and said a few choice words that would make a sailor blush. But he probably couldn't hear what she said, but he definitely had to have seen the gesture she did. So he was like tailgating us for quite a while. And, my wife, not because it was his fault, she kept saying so. She wasn't going to let him get the best of her. So she'd slam on her brakes every time he was tailgating us.
Oh, boy.
And then that would cause him to like lean on his horn longer. Mm-hmm. And this continued for a while. And
my anxiety's getting up listening to this. Keep going, though.
I kept telling her, honey, you got to stop doing this. I mean, she's like, well, it's his fault. It's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, do you want that etched in your tombstone? It's like, this is Wyoming. You know that guy's packing a piece.
Should have borrowed my
varmint
gun.
Yeah, it's like, I know I don't want to be on the wrong end of some homicidal cowboy road rage. I could just imagine this guy, like, cutting us off and... so we pull off the road, and he steps out in like his 10-gallon hat and poncho with his 6-shooters on his side. He's playing like the music from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly from his truck radio.
He's whistling at himself.
And he like tosses me one of his guns.
Tosses you a gun.
You feel lucky, punk.
And Laura's like, you have to defend my honor.
Yeah. So, anyway, eventually...
That's why you should bring a brother from the hood with you.
To take on the
I'm laughing because I'm
Wyoming
afraid
Cowboys.
of you.
Luckily, we were not shot out in the prairie and our carcasses left for the buzzards and the coyotes. It seemed cooler heads prevailed. Him and my wife eventually stopped antagonizing each other, and
Just got tired of it.
I guess after like a couple miles of him tailgating us and her deliberately slowing down. But he eventually pulled off. Maybe he realized like high noon was too far away. He didn't want to wait that long to enact his special brand of frontier justice on our asses.
You city folk.
But, or, we, like a mile or so later, we passed a house with a big sign that said, "Honk if you love freedom." So maybe I've got him all wrong. Maybe he wasn't even mad. He just really, really liked freedom and wanted to remind us constantly.
Right. Like, that was your right to cut me off.
Like, he was like, you know, Mel Gibson in Braveheart. Like, every time my wife slammed on her brakes, he just hits his horn, "Freedom!" You know? So maybe we got him all wrong, and he was just reminding us how much he loved freedom. Like, every single opportunity for several miles.
That's one way to look at it.
How did you... I wouldn't have been able to handle that. My heart would have been pounding with anxiety.
Okay.
Are you just that laid back?
So Laura, his wife, did the same thing when we were coming back from Vegas.
She is like the sweetest person ever.
She is. She really
but you don't
is.
want to. You don't want to make her mad.
Sure.
No,
Road rage is one of her weaknesses, I guess.
I've seen it firsthand.
She doesn't like when people cut her off. She gets really mad when people honk at her.
I just know that I'm the guy that has to get out, and I'm the one that's going to have to fight if there is one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what bothers me.
If this guy had run us off the road, he wouldn't be challenging this 5'0" woman that flipped him off.
No.
It'd be me in the passenger seat that gets the brunt of
Laura's like, "Get him, John."
Yeah, his redneck rage is going all on me.
Yeah. Oh.
Your wife's like, "Quick, switch seats."
And I haven't shot a 6-shot revolver that I know he had, you know, because it's Wyoming. So he definitely get the best of me in that.
It's black
duel.
powder because it's Wyoming.
He's like stuffing in the barrel of it with
An old like muzzle loader from like the 1860s.
Oh man.
But anyway, it passed without incident.
Oh.
And
I'm
it ended up being a very fun trip.
If there's anything that
Gives
me... Oh,
Grand Tetons didn't quite what I was hoping.
I'm just glad you're okay. That's all. That's what I'm trying to get at. That stuff scares me, man. People are crazy out in the world now.
Road rage is a real thing, and people will kill you because of it. If they get so mad, they will shoot you over, you know, you not going fast enough, or you cutting them off, or something, you know?
It's nuts.
Or showing them your middle finger when they basically
that is worth your
off.
life to some people, and it's crazy.
It is nuts.
I have noticed a correlation between the more expensive the car, the douchier the driver. Because I was driving about 40 miles a day for 4 years. 60 miles a day. And anytime that the person weaving in and out of traffic or cutting people off, it was a BMW, it was a Mercedes, it was an Audi. And I'm just like...
Huh, weird.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, there go our Audi, Lexus, whatever listeners.
The ones that have real money, they're like, "I was about to donate $10,000 to this podcast." Not now.
Thanks, Jason.
You peasant.
Our Wyoming listeners are gone by now, too.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's like 10 people in that whole state to begin with.
That in Montana, right?
Yeah, we could have used that as like an excuse to declare war on Wyoming. Like when she stuck her arm out the window, it should have been "Utah bitches," waving her fingers.
They have some like midnight riders coming into Salt Lake on the I-15.
Well, what we need is
On
like
their horses.
On their horses.
We need like a good interstate civil war just between random states that don't matter, like Utah and Wyoming.
Utah and Idaho.
Utah and
There's
Idaho's
like
good.
more of a decent...
Utah would win.
A rivalry.
Utah would win, but they're not just the rivalry, but there's enough people in both states. You know, Wyoming, that's not really fair.
No.
I don't think there's that many people in Idaho, is there?
There's a lot more than there is in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Are you counting the sheep too?
Well, what I'm figuring is that Idaho being the farm state that it is, you know, they've got a lot of farm implements, they've got horses, they've got guns. I mean, we have guns here. I don't know. I still want to be on the winning side. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not going to declare war against like an entire state like California.
No.
No. They have the ocean.
That's true.
So they have
I
a whole,
wish they
whole
would sink
Navy
into.
and stuff that we don't have.
There are a lot of people leaving California.
Oh, I know.
They're coming to Utah.
Yep.
Yep. So
We are the new Silicon Valley, but we're the Silicon Slopes.
Silicon slopes, yeah.
I haven't heard that, but I have heard that like house inventory is scarce now. So,
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. It's crazy.
So I'm going to be
Prices
selling
are
this house for
insane.
$2 million.
I'm going to try and buy it.
Some Californian will buy it.
I have
like $2
$10
million.
to
Because a
put
studio
down.
apartment in San Francisco is probably $3 million, so this $2 million is a bargain.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to.
Whoa, 1,200 square feet for only $2 million?
The
Score.
ex-wife has taken advantage of it. She got a chunk of change out of the house that we had together and bought one in North Carolina for, much cheaper because it's so much cheaper to
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's going to be a shift in the population, I think.
Well, all the Californians come here because California is too expensive, but that shift has made Utah too expensive. So people are going to have to start leaving here and going somewhere else.
California.
Back to California.
I don't think I've ever spent almost $70 on fuel before today. That's
ours
never
is,
happened
ours
to
is
me.
90.
Oh,
Our SUV
what- how
costs
many-
$90
Oh, an
to
SUV?
fill up.
Yeah.
An
It's
Ar-
ridiculous.
Armada, yeah.
Food has gone up too. Like I used to be able to go to the grocery store and let's see, like yesterday I spent like $50 for a quick trip. Usually a quick trip is $25 to $30.
Sure.
Same stuff. It was over 50.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
And-
restaurants have gone up.
Yeah.
It went up during the pandemic because they kind of needed to, but now that even that's dine-in service is open again, they've kept those prices.
Of course.
Even
And I
the-
still feel obligated to tip, even though I'm kind of in the habit of picking it up to go.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a lot more expensive than it used to be to eat out.
It's
Even
just more of a
these-
reason for me to become a cannibal, honestly.
yeah.
I just didn't have enough children.
How do you feel about California meat?
I'm good with it. Should we try this?
That means something different in San Francisco, by the way.
Do I want to know?
I'm here for California meat.
Okay, yeah, I see how that would go.
We got you covered, big boy. There goes all our gay listeners.
We're also racist, so we might as well just end it now.
That's all right. So, I finished Loki, the series.
Oh,
Apparently, there will be a season 2, and the season finale was good but unsatisfying.
no happy ending, huh?
Well, there's an ending.
Okay. I like happy endings.
It's just a season though, and not a series, right?
It is a season, and so they're going to have a season 2. But it was really good, though. The premise is really interesting and not what I expected. So
Oh, cool.
you should give it a watch when you get
A little more
chance.
sci-fi than...
A little more sci-fi, and it's a redemption story for Loki. He becomes a hero
I like that.
and realizes that all his like aspirations for power didn't really matter, and so he starts to actually see outside himself. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
That's what I did this week.
Cool.
I've been
about you, Zach?
watching Web of Lies on Discovery Plus,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and it's like I'm becoming agoraphobic in my old age, I swear. And this show is making me feel even more afraid of the world at large, the internet, because it's a show about for those of you that don't know, it's a show about basically murder and other awful things that people utilize the internet to achieve. And there are so many crazy people out there. There are so many crazy people, and this show is taking over my life, and I love it. And it's got sad parts because these are true stories of things that have happened, and I'll cry or laugh at the murder.
Laughing like the serial killers and stuff.
That's not how I would have done it.
That stupid bitch.
She deserved. Like, she went back into the house.
Oh,
Anyway, no, it's a really good show, but the acting is terrible. So they do the
the reenactments.
reenactments, and
love
they're so
reenactments.
funny.
I think they have to be bad
I think so too.
because I used to watch.
Because good actors get real acting.
I used to watch America's Most Wanted, and they always had the worst reenactments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I forgot my keys. I better go back into my house. And then the killer's just like, hiding behind something that wouldn't possibly conceal them.
Yeah.
And then,
So
a
that you as the
lampshade
audience
or
could
something.
see them. Yeah. Or when they try to do witty dialogue between the people,
Yeah.
You know, they don't know what was being said in the first place, but then they choose that shit. It's really funny. I can't even...
It gets worse when you go like back in time when they're doing a reenactment from the 50s or something. Yeah. Now I will go home to my nuclear family of 4 children and 1 on the way.
Yep. That I can afford.
While my wife stays home because I work in the factory.
40 hours. Not 50 or 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny. But yeah, Web of Lies. So is it one story or is it a series of stories?
Every episode is different. There's like 10 seasons or something.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's kind of scary though, just the things that people will do on the internet, utilizing email, Facebook, whatever, cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
That is scary.
What have you been watching?
I haven't watched anything for a while.
You're a doer.
I don't do much in the summer as far as sitting in front of a TV if I can help it. I'd rather go
Yeah.
outside and ride bikes.
Outside's
or swim in
hot
my
and
pool.
scary though.
It is, but Jackson Hole, Wyoming was 15 degrees cooler than it was in this sweat
I
pit.
Yeah.
bet
It was only in the high 80s the whole weekend.
Oh, that sounds
Nice.
awesome. Yeah. Well, John does all his TV watching in the fall and winter. So,
Pretty much, yeah.
all right, welcome back to Dysfunctional Adults. We have some enemies, actually. There's a couple people on our Facebook group who really, really, really hate our podcast, but they probably have never listened to it. They just didn't appreciate the fact that we paid for some advertisement to kind of get some publicity, and it showed up on their timeline, which I guess violated their rights as free Facebook users.
According to them, yes, exactly that.
And that's fine. I get it. I mean, I see ads I don't like either, but I don't take the time to go find the page and then post mean comments about the product or service that I know nothing about. So you may have seen a little bit of salty comebacks from us, but that's because it was ridiculous. So
It's kind of fun and funny in its own way, but I don't know. I'm done talking to them.
you see what I put last time?
Yes. And I feel like they took your advice because they didn't say anything. They're like, oh shit, those are on sale? Like,
For the record, there were several angry comments, and Zach was trying to defend us, and so I decided to step in, being the badass that I am. And I put to all the angry incels who are posting on our page, I heard Adam and Eve have a fleshlight sale going on. Hashtag pathetic, hashtag eternal virginity.
you're my favorite Vato.
What's that?
You're my favorite Vato. I said that as white as possible.
Yes, you did. It's like, it took me a second
I
to
know.
translate it back into Cholo. If you guys can't see me, I'm wearing a white wife beater, and my head is shaved, and I've got a goatee.
Chinos.
And I drive a lowrider. No, it's not me at all. So I'm actually wearing one of those inflatable T-Rex suits right now.
You always wear that. I've never seen you wash it.
I don't wash it. The best, have you seen those, like, people doing funny poses and stuff?
Yeah.
The best one I saw was a woman post sexy pictures for her husband. She's wearing that, but with high heels and like posting, like posing on the bed.
That is awesome.
So, but
Where is she? I'm going to break her up from her husband and marry
yeah,
her.
if you can't appreciate that, then you don't deserve her.
Nope.
So, but one thing I've been getting into a lot lately, and I probably should have saved this for the earlier segment. So, I thought I like to be a troll sometimes. And so, I downloaded TikTok so I could hate it and make fun of it.
We're like
Now-
twice as old as the average TikTok user.
No,
or 3 times.
no,
as
no,
old.
no, no,
yeah,
no,
okay,
no,
there you
no.
go. There you
Actually,
go.
3 times
no,
more like it.
no,
right?
no. There's people our age and older.
Really?
Yeah, lots of the videos are from like 30, 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
And anyway, so anytime I have a free second, I'm watching TikTok now, and I'm sending them to my wife.
They're
You're getting
funny.
into it, aren't you?
They're really funny. There's a lot of really funny ones, and just some really. It's an interesting way for people to like show their creativity who might not otherwise have any other outlet. Like, there's this guy who does pro marriage tips, and it's just him and his phone, and it's always him in the foreground, and his wife is in the background. He's like, pro marriage tip. If you leave bread out, your wife has to make you a sandwich because her instincts kick in. And she just kind of shakes her head no, and things like that. But it's funny because it's just average, normal people being creative and doing funny stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually the essence of what the internet was meant to be. It just kind of democratizes entertainment. So anybody can be, a comedian or whatever. I mean, there's some people who promote causes on there too.
Well, there's probably a lot of people who aren't nearly as funny as they think they are.
That's true too, but that's where the whole crowdsourcing thing comes in, because you will get immediate feedback.
We've gotten some feedback.
Immediate feedback. So
we've got lots of positive feedback as well.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So
my mom likes the podcast, so we go.
That's really all that
matters. That's all that matters.
This is all about
my mom says I'm cool.
My mom thinks I'm a 10 too. So
hey, there you go.
Which is really weird because she keeps hitting on you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know you think I'm handsome, Mom. Just kidding. Zach's mom, don't hurt me. But yeah, so it's funny. It totally backfired on me, and now my kids are even making fun of me because they think TikTok's dumb. So
some of it is. I mean, the things that it's known for when it first came out, before it had this like major uprising that it's recently had, it was definitely full of pedos.
Was it really?
Oh yeah, it was a huge problem.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it's gone a little more mainstream. Instead of just young kids using it, it's kind of, there's a lot of people using it, and for funny things. I agree.
Yeah, that's what I haven't seen any kids. I've seen some teenage girls maybe, but hardly. I know it's probably based on what you're liking and stuff, but yeah, a lot of it's fat guys with beards is what I keep getting.
Yeah.
So.
If that's what you're into.
Like, hey, it's my people.
Well, I think the best feature is you can stitch. So basically someone can...
Knitting?
No, kind of. Someone will make a video and then you can answer it by making your video. So it will show their video first, and a lot of people do these prompts where they'll ask a question like, if I broke into your house, what would you do? And then someone will video a reply, which sometimes are really, really funny. Like some guy has pizza and video games ready, but so anyway, that's kind of the clever thing about it is you can get a lot of interaction, from different people, and the best is when people troll each other, because you'll get some people who think they're cool. Like there's this girl in the bikini. She's like, if you're not on the river, where are you? And so you got like a soldier. He's like, I'm at drill. And there's a woman with kids. She's like, I'm at home wiping kids' asses.
That's funny.
So these are all random people replying to each other.
Exactly, and it's really funny. And there's some really funny ones. Like another one of my favorite, and I'll stop talking about TikTok in a second. But there's these girls wearing almost nothing with big boobs will be like, if you had me for 24 hours, what would you do with me? And it's kind of skanky, right?
Yeah.
Is that even a word still? It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
So, but the best part is there's one guy or several guys. One of them replies, he's like, we would open the Zodiac files and we would work together to find who the Zodiac killer is. And he just goes on and on and on and on.
That's clever.
One guy's like, we would play with my wrestling collection. He's got all these dolls together, It's supposed to be sexy and provocative, and these middle-aged guys are just totally like trolling these girls.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I love it. I love that aspect of it. So anyway, I haven't made any videos. I may, and they may be in conjunction with this podcast if I can think of something funny enough. All but right. We'll see.
Cool. So, I'm excited.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go back to Vines if you
don't
mind.
Is that even still a thing?
No. That's how relevant I am.
You're talking about snorting red vines, right?
Right.
Yes, that.
Okay.
I might as well be.
That's the extent of my knowledge on all this stuff.
Yeah. You're a better person for it. I promise you.
It's funny, John. You were like the tech guy. Not tech guy, but you were into like video games more than anybody else I knew when I first met you. And you're just not technology guy.
And now you like outside? What is wrong with you?
My thing with like social media, it's had like 3 different stages. First, like when I didn't sign up for Facebook when everyone else was, at first it was just laziness for the first few years. I've always been like, I never cared about like new technology the way a lot of people do. Like I was always the last one to get.
He still uses a rotary phone.
No,
on principle,
it's a rotary cell phone.
I was like the last one to get a cell phone. I was the last one to start, texting. The last one to get like an email address, all that kind of stuff. So for like social media, it didn't interest me at first. So I went a couple years, didn't care about that, and then after a couple years, where I thought, maybe I should sign up. At that point, it's an embarrassment because everyone else has done it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like, guess what, everyone else signed up for Facebook. This thing you all signed
selfies.
up. This thing you all signed up for 5 years ago. So there's a certain point of no return where it becomes embarrassing, where you can't jump on the bandwagon at that point.
Oh,
and then after the embarrassment stage, now it got to the point where social media is so toxic. I'm totally fine not being on it. If I was on it before, I probably would have gotten off by now anyways.
Yeah.
It seems to bring people down as much as it brings them up. And
That's true.
I don't need that right now.
Like and follow our page.
Yeah, there was probably a 5 year span or so where I kind of regret that I was never on social media, that I would have enjoyed Facebook and stuff, but that point has passed.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay being off the grid.
I have one word for you, brother. Reddit. Get on Reddit.
I read Reddit articles sometimes.
Yes, you do, because we send them to you.
No, you don't have
So
to
that
have
counts
any
for
kind of
something.
identification. Just get a throwaway account, and then you can.
Well, I don't need to post anything. I just like to read stuff that other people.
Right,
that's
that's all.
called lurking.
That's all
Yeah,
I do.
I
don't
do
post
that.
anything
I
either.
read Reddit articles. I just don't post any comments.
I just got John to admit he was a lurker.
We all knew. If he didn't know by now, then I'm a lurker. I don't post anything on Reddit.
Yeah, I've had several Reddit accounts, so I never posted a thing.
Yeah.
I just always read stuff. So on that note, do we want to move on to show and tell?
Sure.
We certainly can.
John, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, I can. So, as I mentioned, I recently went to Wyoming. And so, when you Google, like Wyoming or something to find, look for stuff to do, look for places to go, random Wyoming articles will pop up. And I saw one that said, starting in 1921, for like 50 years, it was illegal in Wyoming to take pictures of rabbits.
I already know why, but keep going.
Can you imagine like an illicit black market underground rabbit picture distribution ring?
Yeah.
I could see that. It's like prohibition, but they're handing out pictures of bunnies.
So what's the reasoning behind this law?
It's like,
There-
hoppity hop.
I couldn't find a good reason for that. But anyway, what that reminded me of, you hear all these obscure, obsolete, stupid laws in every state that are still in the books for no reason. So I decided to look up stupid laws around the country that are still in
Nice.
the books.
Blue laws,
I
right? Is that
still-
what they're called?
Yeah, but I still want to know why you can't take pictures of rabbits.
You needed a special wildlife photography license, and then even after you got that, you had to have a game warden go with you to accompany you on your photo shoot. I don't know what they expected you were doing with these pictures of rabbits, but anyway,
He doesn't want you to invade their privacy when they're fornicating.
who knows? But I went and compiled some laws that these are all allegedly still in the books. I'm not going to read one from every state because that's a lot. But I'll read
I got time.
I'll read some of the ones I thought were my favorite. Rhode Island apparently is expecting some kind of zombie apocalypse. It is in in their actual books that it's illegal to bite someone's arm off in Rhode Island.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why it needs to be specified. That's probably already against a bunch of other laws for assault or battery or
Right.
malicious wounding or something else, but they felt the need to specify that one.
What about that dude had to cut off his... Oh, I guess he cut it off. He didn't bite it off.
He cut it off.
Yeah, never mind.
And that was in Utah, so it's totally legal here. you can bite people's arms off in any other state, but not Rhode Island.
Not Rhode Island. I'm glad that they took that measure.
So in Texas, you can't sell your eyes. So Zach, get that spoon out of your eye, trying to dig it out.
I thought they were about
To
freedom
sell
in
on
Texas.
Facebook
Right?
classifieds. In Wisconsin,
What are you, a damn commie trying to sell your eyes?
you can't legally require someone to get microchipped, like for a job application or something. So that's okay everywhere else. But
Yeah.
Wisconsin, you can't require that.
Just getting ahead of the times.
In Everett, Washington, you're not allowed to hypnotize someone outdoors. You can hypnotize them indoors, but outdoors, it's illegal.
All right.
In Oregon, it's illegal to throw urine out of a moving car door.
Isn't that kind of illegal everywhere?
I would think so, but that's like the only state that I think actually specifies it.
Is that really-
You were a trucker. Did you ever drive through Oregon?
Yes.
How many bottles of urine went out your window?
None in Oregon. I saved it because I
Because you knew.
Right.
You got to save it to the
They have
Washington
signs
state line.
everywhere.
As soon as you hit the Washington state line, all these jars of urine are going out the door.
7-Eleven cups, McDonald's
Exactly.
cups.
In Alabama, it's illegal to promote or engage in bear wrestling.
Damn it.
And it's also illegal to play dominoes on Sundays.
With bears?
While wrestling bears.
Period.
All their laws are really bear-centric.
Yeah. And they wrote them all at the same time. There was just some doofus in office.
In California, any frog that dies during a frog jumping contest cannot be eaten. It has to be disposed of properly. You can't just pick it up and, oh, Jumpy's dead, and start munching on him, you know?
I love that you named him Jumpy.
In Delaware, you cannot recklessly sell, barter, or offer dog or cat hair.
Aw, reckless.
Imagine some guy in like an alley with a trench coat opening it up and there's bags of dog hair in here.
Yeah, but he's not being reckless about it unless he's drunk or something, right?
Maybe
selling it to little kids.
Maybe that's a loophole with those bags of dog hair you have back there.
Oh, I'm collecting dog hair, but not for that reason.
You know, I knit a sweater. In New Jersey, you can't wear a bulletproof vest while committing a felony. Like, you'll get charged double. Apparently, they want to be able to shoot you if they see you committing a felony.
If we shoot you, you better die.
Oh, he's killing someone. Oh, no, he's wearing a bulletproof vest. Stop him. Because before that, the felony was totally okay. It's the vest part that really upsets them.
You sicken me, the judge says.
In Arkansas, it is illegal to mispronounce the state's name.
I've heard
None
that
of this
one.
Arkansas crap. You must legally pronounce it correctly or else.
It's like a felony.
Death.
We're sick of people calling us Arkansas. In California, it is illegal to build, maintain, or use a nuclear weapon.
I thought that was pretty much illegal anywhere.
That's the only one that actually specifies this stuff.
So you guys want to do something on Friday?
I got some plutonium.
Colorado apparently doesn't remember what century we're in because it's illegal to discharge a catapult or a flaming arrow. How else are you going to declare war on Nebraska without a catapult and a flaming arrow?
So are we talking about an arrow on fire or an arrow with the pride flag attached to it?
Flaming arrow.
Flaming arrow.
I heard crickets. You heard badumts. I don't know.
It's fun.
So Viking funerals are out.
In Colorado, apparently so.
Flaming arrow, because, you know.
Florida,
Oh, now I get it. Okay, now it's funny.
No, it's not.
Florida apparently needs it in their law books to say that you cannot legally sell children.
Okay.
Because apparently
I just
people get
won't go there.
confused. You know, it's full of Florida men. So.
Yeah.
In Georgia, it's considered itself the poultry capital of the world. It's illegal to eat fried chicken with utensils. You can't use anything but your fingers.
What the hell?
According to a Georgia law.
I don't even understand.
This is one of my favorites in Idaho. It's the only state to have an active ban on cannibalism.
Which state?
Idaho.
Okay.
So it's okay everywhere else.
Zach's taking notes.
I'm not moving.
So it's technically not a crime anywhere else in the nation.
Okay.
They define cannibalism as non-consensual consumption of another human. So if they say it's okay, consensual consumption, that's all right.
But not.
Way to go, Idaho.
Oh, I like this one. In Kentucky, dueling is not allowed.
Aw.
They put it in the law. All public officials and attorneys in Kentucky must swear an oath that they have not fought a duel with deadly weapons.
That would be great if every time they're sworn into office, like, that is the question. Have you dueled?
Have you dueled with
Come
bears?
on. Yeah.
Zach, you're from Minnesota, right?
Yep. Am I going to be proud?
I don't know. You might have to hunker down for a bit, because I bet you've got away with this quite a bit. No pig greasing allowed in Minnesota.
Damn it! You called me out on the air.
I don't know if that's
It is
what
a
you think it
misdemeanor.
is.
It is a misdemeanor to operate, run, or participate in any activity where a pig is oiled up and released with the object of being recaptured. So your Minnesota childhood days just got a whole new meaning.
Oh, that damn pig safe haven.
It's a safe haven state.
Yep. Incidentally, they have the highest pig population.
In New Hampshire,
But the lowest grease sales.
Correct.
Sorry.
in New Hampshire, you're not allowed to collect seaweed at night.
That's just unnatural. It's unwholesome.
Yeah, this isn't even funny anymore because that makes sense.
In a weird way.
Oh, here in Utah, no missiles or projectiles allowed to be fired at a bus terminal. Unless you're an appointed officer of the peace or commercial security personnel, i.e. mall cop. You cannot shoot projectiles at someone in a bus terminal. Because everywhere else it's fine. You can just be discharging firearms.
Got like a shoulder-mounted surface-to-air missile.
Are you an officer of the law?
Oh.
And in Washington, Sasquatch poaching is officially illegal.
Oh, wow.
Where? Alaska?
Washington.
Oh, Washington. I don't know where
Just
I
in
got
case
Alaska.
they're real, you cannot poach Sasquatch.
We need to pass a whole
Because
bunch
their lawmaker said if they exist, it would have to be considered an endangered species. Therefore, they are in need of protection.
Well, they obviously don't know that the Sasquatch is out to get us and they're from another dimension. It's a whole thing. I'll
It's
explain
true.
it later.
They're conspiring with the UFOs.
Yep.
So, anyway, those are laws around the country that are still in the books, all inspired by my finding out that Wyoming, it's illegal to photograph rabbits. Or
Did you take a picture of a rabbit?
No,
Honestly?
I guess that law ended in like 1970, but all these other ones I said are still in the books.
That's
around
fantastic.
the country. So
I
that
would
is
like
my
to. Oh, sorry.
useless information show and tell.
That was great. I'd like to take all of those laws and any others,
Break all of them.
break all of them, and then try to get arrested. But also, I'd like them to refund us our taxes, or the individual states, the taxes that they utilized to make these laws,
to enforce them?
and enforce them. Give them back to the people.
Yeah,
I want to see if they actually will enforce these, if cops even know.
Right.
If you walk around California with a dead frog. This just died in the frog jumping contest. Start ripping into it with your teeth.
I love it.
All right. I'm going to go next.
Hey, will you go next?
Yeah. So, because we're middle-aged dads, I always want to pay homage to that theme. So I have dad jokes.
Nice.
All right. I'm not going to read them all because there's like 500. But I'll read some to you. Okay. How does a man on the moon cut his hair?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Eclipses it.
Oh, this is going to be awful, I can tell.
By the way, on this subject, we can all share some of our favorite dad jokes that our kids love, if you have any.
That's a good idea, but you're pulling a Jason right now. I'm going to have to think of something now.
There's none that you have off the top of your head that
I
your
do, I'm
kids
just
make you
kidding.
tell them like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, my kids don't make me tell them. They groan and tell me not to tell them.
But
Oh, my kid tells them to me, and I'm tired of hearing them.
That's the circle of life. You'll tell them back to him when he's 13. That's how this
See,
works.
I haven't gotten as far into this as you guys have. So.
Yeah.
All right. Why is it a bad idea to iron your 4-leaf clover?
Why?
Because you should impress your luck.
So bad.
This is my favorite segment.
What rock group has 4 men that don't sing? Mount Rushmore. Let's see.
I'll try to memorize these.
What concert costs just 45 cents?
What?
50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
No!
So bad.
So bad.
Just two more.
No, keep going. Keep digging your grave, Jason.
Why do melons have weddings?
Because they can't elope.
Oh, Zach knew that one.
nice.
Zach knew that one. All right, that means I have to read an extra one. What
Damn it.
happens when you go to the bathroom in France?
Wee wee?
That's a good one, but it says European.
Oh, yeah.
Partial credit to John.
Now you can only read half a joke.
I just will read the
Just
question
stop
and
before
not
the
the answer.
punchline,
Yeah.
right.
How many apples grow on a tree?
All of them.
All of them!
Should have known that.
All right, one more. I was really angry at my friend Mark for stealing my dictionary. I told him, "Mark my words." And I'll conclude this session of dad jokes.
I want to hate more of them, though.
I probably will bring them
I
back.
can tell you some that my kids like.
Do it.
Okay, where does a penguin keep his money?
Where?
In a snowbank. My kids love that one. They
Yeah.
make you tell it to them like over and over again. Or have you seen the movie Home?
Yeah.
Cartoon with the alien. They love the interrupting cow joke on that one.
Oh,
you know that one?
That was one of the ones I was going to tell, because, yeah. But I want you to tell it because it's one of my favorite. I love that joke.
Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Moo!
It's funny every time.
The cow interrupts you.
That's
The kids
comedy
love that one.
gold.
They tell each other that one all the time.
Yeah, my Charlie, my buddy. That's what I call him. He cracked up the first time I did that to him. He cried laughing, and he's 5. I didn't think he could laugh that hard at something. I've never seen him laugh that hard at something, and he cried at that joke. He thought that was so freaking funny, and now he tries to tell it, and he doesn't even say interrupting cow correctly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it doesn't go over great especially because my family, my brother and my dad, they won't let you tell a joke, even if you're 5.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
tries to tell the joke. I'm the only one that lets him tell it.
Oh.
So that's how I'm going to win him over.
Any of our lady listeners, Zach is single. So if you just felt those motherly tingles.
I'm fixed.
Shh, I'm trying to help you out, man.
Oh. I should be a snake.
So while we're talking about the kids, can I mention a conversation I had with one of my boys the other day? This is my middle son. Well, he's the older twin, so there's like a 2-minute difference between him and my younger son. But for some reason, the 2 minutes seems like it really makes a difference. Like he feels.
Interesting.
Well, he feels like to me, he feels like he's a middle child, and the younger one feels like a baby
That's
brother,
funny.
even though there's like a 2-minute difference between them.
Okay.
Anyway, this is my middle son, Eric. This was a couple weeks ago because I guess he learned about like the 4th of July at daycare, and he's learning about America and all this kind of stuff. America, yeah. But he asked me, he's like, "Daddy, do we have a king?" And I'm like, "No, America doesn't have a king." And he goes, "Do other countries have kings?" I'm like, I don't know. Some of them might still have kings. And he goes, "You mean like Nevada?" And I say, "No, son, Nevada's not a country." He goes, "You mean it's a whole nother planet?" And, of course I care about my kids' education. You don't want to fill their head with crap. So I gave him honest answers to all this stuff, but it makes me think like the inner smartass in me wanted to say like something different with every single answer, because I really wish my siblings had kids so I could be the crazy uncle. 'Cause I don't have to care about their kids' education level,
Right.
you know? I want to be the crazy uncle who fills their heads with, nutty conspiracy theories and cryptic bullshit, So
Yeah.
if one of them had come up to me with questions like that, like, "Hey, Uncle John, do we have a king?" I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, Lord Wilfred von McGillicuddy III, he rules America with an iron fist from atop his throne made of skulls in Washington, D.C.
In his money bin.
I love that
And then it's like, do other countries have kings? Well, maybe, but some of them, like Canada, they're ruled by a sheep with supernatural powers. And then, like, "You mean Nevada's a whole nother planet?" Yes, it's right between Jupiter and Saturn.
Yeah.
Your aunt and I traveled through space and time when we went to Las Vegas a couple months ago. And then you have to tell them, like, "Remember, tell all your teachers this stuff
Right.
so they can see how smart you are. And if they ask where you heard this, remember to tell them your dad told you, so he gets all the credit for it." So anyway, yeah, I don't want to do that with my own kids, but hey,
have a
Zach,
hard
can
time with that, too.
can I babysit Charlie?
Absolutely.
I want to give him some history and
I want him
geography,
to learn what you have to
geography
teach him.
lessons. And I'll,
Yes.
I'll make sure you get all the credit for it when his teacher asks where he
Fine.
got this stuff.
Absolutely. Let's do
I
it.
can't quite bring myself to tell my kids this stuff, but I have no qualms with corrupting your child that way.
I I had that uncle, by the way. My uncle Larry was trying to
Yeah, but he's not joking.
No, he's not.
He really believes that
He was trying to convince me that aliens were real and that...
They are.
We'll go back to that later. Area 51 had an alien, and they like strawberry ice cream, and I don't know why that was a part of it, but...
Why wouldn't they? Strawberry ice cream is delicious.
It really is. It's one of the best flavors.
I don't know. On the
Have you seen that trash that's in the Neapolitan?
I was just saying the Neapolitan ice cream. I leave
the strawberry.
I leave the strawberry. I eat the chocolate and the vanilla.
I'm going to keep interrupting you. Keep going.
Moo!
You are the interrupting cow.
That's all I had.
Anyway.
It's your turn.
What do you got, Zach?
I wanted to hear more of your jokes that your kids love.
Oh.
I interrupted that, too.
There's another cow one. What does a cow with no lips say? Ooh. Kids like that one.
Awesome.
I've never heard that.
For some reason, they like cow jokes. What happens when a cow doesn't shave? What? He grows a mustache.
Oh, no.
They're all so terrible, but they love all these stupid jokes.
They're funny.
Anyway, yeah, those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. And there's most of them are cow related.
Yeah.
Except for the
I
penguin
like cows.
ones.
They're funny.
Apparently, yeah, they make good jokes, I guess. What do you got from
Charlie
jokes?
says he does the interrupting cow. And I was teaching him to read, basically, and helping him sound it out and all this. And it sucks that I don't know how to read, so when I teach him, it's a whole new learning experience.
He's like, "Duh, Daddy, duh."
I know, you little shit. Yeah, no, he...
Get back in your box.
That's the last time you correct me, son. S-U-N. I'm teaching him to read, and this book had jokes in it. And he likes the jokes that came with it, and they had a lot to do with cars. What does a frog do when its car won't start? It gets towed. And he tells me this joke 5 times a day.
Yeah.
He never gets tired of it.
It's funny every single time to them.
Right. He doesn't seem to understand that I know the joke now. I helped him read it.
Yeah.
How do cars go swimming? Or where do cars go swimming? The carpool. Yeah.
It's funny though, when they come up and tell us these jokes and then act surprised when we know the answer. It's like, I told you that.
Yeah.
A dozen times. And they're still surprised when I know the answer when they repeat the same joke to me the next
with his
day.
brain? Why doesn't he remember I was the guy there?
It's cute though. It's funny.
It is.
Yeah. Maybe it's more about the reaction.
It is.
Yeah.
He wants so badly to be funny. He sees that I'm funny. He sees that his brother Riker is funny. He sees that his mom thinks she's funny. He sees that
Jab.
my mom's funny. He sees that my brother's funny. He wants to be funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do with him is watching Practical Jokers. He doesn't know why he's laughing a lot of the times, but I laugh really hard at that show, and he just cracks up and he cries. He doesn't know why, but it's cute. He wants to be part of that so badly.
Yeah, my kids used to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we watch funny stuff.
This is all new to me still. I have never experienced this stuff before. So those are his jokes. Oh, also, what kind of cars do kittens drive? Cadillacs. Come on, you guys. Hey, this is adult humor. What are we doing?
You gotta.
Oh, that's right.
Show, tell, take your pants off.
Let's do a break.
Okay, we'll be right back. Bzz. Moo!
It looks like I've got porn on my phone.
Oh, you totally do.
All right.
I just sent you a link to porn.
You're like, here's your article, dummy. Fall for it. And we're back.
Well, 2 of us are.
Did you just jump when I did that?
No.
Oh, it looked like you jumped a little from the corner of my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was
Do you
just
want
like,
me
I'm
to
sorry.
jump?
Yes.
Just so
I
you
like
can
to
see
be
me
edgy.
bounce.
Well, a little bit.
Because I have man boobs.
Yummy. I'm just imagining how hot it is right now under your shirt.
All sweaty. Show you some under boob.
All right. Hey, thanks for the article from The Sun. Quality news right here. The Sun. This is under Fabulous with an arrow, health and fitness.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. This is by Andrea Downey. at 12:41, the 30th of November, 2017. And then it was updated at 23:37 on that same day. She's like, screwed up. All right.
I spelled penis with a 9.
That was stupid. I love it.
That's our version of a dad joke. Anything that mentions the word penis, we crack up.
Yeah.
As if it's that carpool joke.
Slam dunk. I'm afraid to drink my water, by the way.
I don't blame you. One of my favorite things this past week was John's text out of nowhere that just said penis. That's all the text said. A minute later or so, it's like, sorry, I'm just practicing for podcasting tomorrow. Yeah. And that's just right. That's perfect. All right. Some people have been left temporarily blind in one eye, deaf, and even nursing a broken penis after a passionate romp. But for some reason, a passionate romp can leave them bent and broken in ways you wouldn't imagine. All right, so this is why I'm not having sex, totally. It has nothing to do with any other reason.
You're just afraid.
I'm just scared. The pandemic really hit me hard. All right. There you were thinking practicing safe sex meant using a condom and keeping up with your regular sex. I thought it said rectal. Well, technically, I guess. And keeping up with your regular sexual health checks, which it mostly does. You've no doubt heard of the carpet burn here or... Okay. I'm just going to move on. All right. Love bites. This is where we'll start. Most people avoid giving or receiving a love bite, mainly because they aren't the best of looks, but they could also cause some serious damage. So serious, in fact, that it could kill. Last year, 17-year-old Julio Macias Gonzalez from Mexico City died of a stroke after a love bite from his girlfriend caused a blood clot. That's a bummer. It was thought his girlfriend gave him a hickey earlier that evening, which caused a clot that traveled to the teen's brain. Paramedics were called to the scene, but Julio could not be saved and died shortly after.
But what a way to go.
I'd want a little more than that. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. I'm assuming there was more involved, but maybe not.
And it is not the first time a love bite is believed to have triggered such a reaction. In 2011, a 44-year-old woman in New Zealand lost movement in her left arm after having a stroke. On noticing a fading love bite, doctors quickly realized damage to a major artery in her neck and linked it to her paralysis.
Oh my gosh.
The suction had caused a blood clot to form, which then traveled to the woman's heart, causing a stroke. All right. Deafening kiss. Now, I've heard of this. No, this is not the kind of kiss that an older relative gives you on the cheek that makes such a smooching noise it rings in your ear. It is much, much worse. A woman in her 20s from Guangdong province in southern China.
That's unfortunate.
I want to live in Guangdong. That's probably racist, too.
No,
anyway,
I was thinking more dong.
Well, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. We know what we're laughing at.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh. A woman in her 20s from the Guangdong province in southern China went to hospital suffering sudden deafness. She told doctors she had shared a passionate kiss goodbye with her boyfriend the day before. The kiss reduced the pressure in the mouth, pulled the eardrum out, and caused the breakdown of the ear. Could you imagine you're kissing somebody so passionately
so hard,
and
like
their insides just like
sucking their head inward? It's like a crushing like soda can as you're kissing them so hard. You know?
I would not. Oh. Her hearing was expected to return after 2 months, reported the BBC. But what does the BBC know? All right. Love is blind. We all heard the saying, but for one man, it came true. One unlucky man from Southampton burst a blood vessel in his eye and suffered temporary vision loss when he reached that hotly anticipated climax. Been there, done that. The 29-year-old went to hospital after noticing part of his vision was impaired in his left eye. I'd rather not walk straight for a week than lose my vision. That says a lot about me. He told doctors he had vigorous sexual intercourse the night before, but he hadn't noticed the problem with his sight until the next morning.
Wait a minute, I want to know, did he have a partner?
That's none of your business, and I say that from experience. You can have vigorous sex with whomever you want, even nobody. Doctors examined him and found a hemorrhage in his eye, spelled H-A-E-M because it's British. It's a British hemorrhage. It's different.
It's more polite and civilized.
Pardon me.
Pardon me.
I'm going to make you dislocate a few things. You're going to fall first. Anyway. Doctors examined him, found a hemorrhage in his eye caused by a pressure buildup when he had an orgasm. Basically, the intense pressure from his climax caused a sudden increase in pressure around his retina and resulted in a blood vessel bursting. The BMJ report also noted that the men are more likely to hold their breath to stop themselves ejaculating and could therefore be more at risk of this type of injury, which is a great excuse to use later with your partner. Like, I'm sorry, that was quick, but
I don't want to go blind.
Yeah.
I think of my health. If you really love me, you'll put my health first above your selfish pleasure, right?
If I hold it in, it could kill me.
This may be the last one. Never let me go. It's something you say to someone you love, but not something you expect to be taken quite so literally in the bedroom. Or not in the bedroom, as it happened for one randy couple in Italy. The couple decided to have a romp in the sea. Oh, that brings up questions. But when the rendezvous was over, he couldn't get his penis out due to the suction, according to the local. That's a cool problem to have.
There's like undercurrents.
That's crazy.
I'm sure he's having sex with like a woman and not like an octopus or something.
A doctor was called to the scene but was unable to separate the lovers, and they had to take them to hospital. The bizarre phenomenon is called penis captivus, which is my new band name. The medical term for the penis literally being held captive by the vagina. You will remain here.
Did you just say that's your band name?
It's
now?
gonna be. Penis captivus. It happens when the muscles of the woman's pelvic floor, which contract rhythmically during an orgasm, don't relax after they contract. So it's a Charlie horse inside.
It's a literal penis flytrap. From the show Community, I cannot take credit for that. But it's such a great line.
It is. It's
fits
really
so
good.
Perfectly.
The man's member becomes even more engorged with blood, and before you know it, he can't pull it out. Okay, there's one more. Taking a woman's bra off is difficult. Even we have trouble sometimes. But apparently it is so tricky that it has landed many a men in the hospital with ligament damage and even broken fingers, according to the Daily Mail. What kind of, like...
It's like metal.
I've been excited, but...
Well, it's like a chastity belt for the upper half. You need like the lock and key, and you do the combination.
Sleeping with Princess Leia in the slave outfit with
Right?
the bronze bikini.
No kidding.
I just use scissors. My wife gets really mad.
They're
Stop making me
expensive.
buy new ones every single time. Good thing you only. Good thing that's only an issue every 6 months or so.
Oh, sad.
Damn. Shots fired. But apparently it is so tricky that is... I already said that. Hand surgeon Andrew Fleming once treated a 27-year-old man who went to A&E needing... Not the television channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Needing surgery on a broken left middle finger. He got his injury following a convivial and alcoholic adventure. Oh, evening, excuse me. I called it an adventure.
Convivial?
Convivial and alcoholic. We want everybody to know that this was consensual, convivial, with an attractive female companion. Because if she was ugly, nice writing.
I know.
Mr. Fleming wrote in the British Journal of blah, blah, blah. Here we go. While attempting to undo her bra, he caught his left middle finger between the double straps that extended to the left breast. Thanks a lot, lefty. Let's see. Oh, the man had a 2 by 3 centimeter tear in his penis.
You just jumped.
I just something there.
Sorry, that's the next one.
What's he trying to undo her
I
bra
have to read
with?
this one now. I know. That explains a
Use
few
your hands,
things.
dumbass. Like the rest of us.
Only I have a prehensile penis. And that's because of a botched surgery. Snap, crackle, pop. I will read one more just because of the tear in this penis.
So wait, going back.
That was
dude
the
broke
end.
his finger because he was trying to really fast take off the bra.
I guess.
It's a small price to pay.
I mean, really.
She's like,
take
we
it.
need to take you to the doctor after.
Every man
No,
would
they
say
waited
that.
after.
Yep.
Yeah, you can deal with a broken finger for 20 minutes
Yeah.
or so.
Or 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Or 3, depending on my health. I want to make sure I don't go blind. This is sure to make every man cringe and swear off sex for life, which is not true.
No.
A 47-year-old man fractured his penis during a night of passionate sex with his new girlfriend.
Fractured? There's like bones in it?
That's the first problem.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you finish.
No, you're fine. I knew something about this, and now I'm remembering that I don't remember.
Is that why it's called a boner?
We're 12. The patient, who was not named in the BMJ report, felt a snapping sensation. That's sad. But claims he did not feel any symptoms until 12 hours later. Incredibly, he soldiered on. Well, duh. Continued having sex and maintained his erection despite the injury usually leaving men in agony.
Because he's not a quitter.
A penile fracture occurs when an erect penis is hit with considerable force. The penis is made up of 3 cylindrical tubes. Here's your biology lesson. 3 cylindrical tubes, 2 of which fill up with blood when a man becomes aroused. The tissue surrounding these tubes also expands. But if the penis is hit with force, such as a woman's pelvic bone when thrusting a little too enthusiastically, it can bend and cause a pressure overload in the tubes and in turn cause a rupture. That's enough of that.
So, new meaning to safe sex, like, slow it down.
Yeah, be gentle with me.
gentle.
I'm 40 now.
Damn.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Is it?
It's
That
fun.
last one's rough.
That last one,
I can't even imagine that.
So, rather burst a blood vessel in your eye or break your
Pretty
boner?
much anywhere else.
Yep. I would go with the eye.
I think so. I
burst
still got. Well, you
vessels
still
there
have
before.
another good eye. You only need one good eye, right?
Yeah.
You don't have another good
Just wear an eye
member.
patch.
You know?
Right. And as far as I know, there's nothing that can be done to really fix that. It will not be the same after that, from what I've read. You will forever be
Crooked.
and have a hard time getting an erection. Yeah. That's bad. I'm 40 now, and I've already noticed there's more of an issue these days.
There's less oomph.
There's a lot less oomph. And that's bad enough. I can't even imagine doing something stupid and just completely ruining it.
Yeah, well, let's
Let's talk about penises more.
let's decrease the bedroom gymnastics.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And makes you think.
Are we doing 2 or are we doing 1 or what?
We're doing 2, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, so
This is a good place to stop.
yeah, I
for this
was
one.
gonna wrap it up.
Okay, I was just doing.
But you're
wrap it up
like
thing.
you're like
No
making
worries.
sign.
You can always.
You're like
you can always
flashing
just
gang
talk.
signs.
Is this
Yeah,
like a wrap it up symbol?
I don't know. Is this broken penis? Is this?
That could be broken penis.
I always
Fine.
thought this was a classic wrap it up symbol.
But
If
you
we
can
wanna
talk
do 2 of
anytime.
them.
I'll always be able to edit.
But
it
we
out.
should edit out this whole thing.
I'm teasing. Yeah.
I mean,
so-
like the whole last half hour.
Yeah, this part of Jason being a dick to you, I'll cut it.
No. Well, people can't see what we're doing, so you know.
All right, thanks for listening, and please continue to rate this podcast. And if you haven't done it, do it. If you don't do it, then we will just sit in a closet and cry, and that's really
Yeah, there's
I might
really
die.
nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
but
But word
It
of
will
mouth.
hurt our feelings.
Tell your friends if you like the podcast and you think we're funny. Lord knows we think we're funny.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
if you guys think we are, please tell your friends. Send the links, whatever you need to do. Because,
Send dad jokes. We will repeat them on the air.
Yeah,
that's true. Yep.
Yeah, let's have
We're always
some
up
other
for stuff like that.
We need to get on YouTube or something. and
Other
figure this out, get a little
subjects.
more.
Yeah, other subjects you want us to talk about.
It's also
Other than penises.
Like
that's the default.
That's our version of dad jokes. We'll laugh about those over and over again, the same way our kids will about interrupting cows.
Right.
And for those angry people who post on our Facebook page, Utah is not a state that has outlawed duels. So I challenge you all to a duel. And just like John's wife, John will fight the duel for us.
You know you won't be able to hold office in another state. Arkansas? I don't know, wherever it is.
Because I was planning on
Kentucky.
moving. Arkansas?
Yeah,
I think it's
Kentucky's the one that
Kentucky.
banned duels.
Okay, well, duels are legal here, so
Yeah.
Apparently.
bring it.
As is cannibalism.
And,
And
some of
nuclear
y'all people
weapons.
don't know about Tannerite, and Jason does.
All right, thanks. We'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.